Sunday afternoon, and the quiet one continues. 2 arms in that one, assortment of parts in this one, including some more dark grey. Interesting, but yeah, and then kind of a lot of black and a few other things thrown into that one. But yeah, just the 3. I have finally sorted out that light blue grey used stuff, so now I have an empty container, which is fantastic. And yeah, I don't know whether I showed you these yesterday. I managed to pick up a couple of these. Just good lot variation to add into the store, which is always kind of on your mind as you're going along and doing stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's pretty quiet for another week of the month to go. Yeah, not much I can say to that other than we shall see what the rest of the week brings once we get stuck into it, shall we? Alrighty, Monday evening. A bit of a different kind of vibe today. Orders all arrived at once, which is good in that sense. Don't have a clue what's in half of these, but that is going to be a midweek job. We have gone way past this week's this month's uploading requirement already, so this is just golden, really, setting us up for whatever kind of target we're going to hit by month end, which is fantastic. We're 21st today, so we are a week and a few days away from the end of the month, so plenty to go on. I'll show you where we started in a little bit. 6 orders, of which that is actually 2 put together from Ben, regular buyer, with a comment saying lightning fast please, which, you know, I'll not be insulted because they're always bloody fast. What are you on about? Anyway, a whole load of light blue grey in there, a lot of other stuff in there, including those kind of solar panels. No idea what it is, because he kind of builds pirates things usually, so unless the pirates are going modern era kind of solar powered, I mean, perfect spot for it, isn't it? Desert island. 900 parts in 4 lots there. Yes, that is a manual count, because I do not have a counting machine, and every time there's an order like that I think I really should invest in a counting machine, and then I don't. Reddish brown pretty much all the way in that one. Nice, happy days with that one. A real mixture. This one again, can't remember who it is, but regular buyer. A lot of orange. Orange has been very popular recently, and some parts that don't see the light of day very often, which is good. And here is another Republic gunship. Man, oh man, that is popular. Whatever's going on in Rebrickable, or out there in the webosphere, or whatever you call it, is cracking along, isn't it? Anyway, 5 orders to add to the total for the month, which 6 technically, which is a good start to the week after a terrible last week, as you'll see when we get to the store report later. Abysmal for me, but not for other people, so reflect and navel gaze on that one perhaps. But yeah, a little bit of thinking to do in terms of that, but maybe it's just the horses for courses. But we've got some new data and stuff to throw into the store report, and I don't know why I'm now talking like Boris Johnson. Anyway, we've got new data to throw into that, and obviously we've got new parts to come into that. The other day I had an order which had a part in it. That's the rubbish, needs to go out. Had this part in it, which is from Buzz Lightyear, and I was like, I had a look in my minifigure bucket to see if I could find Buzz Lightyear. Couldn't find it. I was missing one piece from the reddish brown order over there. I had a look in my little pile here to find it, and there he is. There's little Buzz with his piece, his little shell missing, so that's nice. He's now complete. He's back happy altogether. And this is my what is this? This is things that have come back returned, or generally kind of need to be found a new home. Things like Dumbledore, who's never been in there, don't know where he should be. This all needs sorting. That, now I've done that used, that light blue grey used, this is the next best thing on my get it sorted sunshine pile. Right, where are we now? We are at 666. 962, which is a little bit down on where we were, but only one lot down on where we were this morning when I did the numbers, and that's where we are. A little bit of upload as well has gone in, but nothing too exciting to write home about, but that's where we are on that, which is also nice to achieve. Last week we uploaded 17,796 parts, and I've not looked at the data to see how many we sold yet, but it was not as many as that because it was an absolute stinker of a week. Anyway, that is it for Monday. All of that is going to wait for now, and we shall tackle that probably on Wednesday, given that Tuesday is this kind of midweek day off, isn't it? But we did have quite a restful weekend as well, so that's good. New vlog's up, doing well, happy with that, and I do need to do some part outs as well. It's getting a bit out of control. Ladder, everyone, happy days. Yeah, I've been thinking about this lot and what to do with things like Easter bunnies. Like, are they really going to sell? Are they going to sell really, or should I be parting them out? What do you think? And there's so many instances of that, like these African savannas, they're now starting to pile up. What have we got here? More bunnies. We've got snails. We've got these Ferris wheel things. Yeah, we've got a lot kind of just hoarding in here. We've got a lot of snails. Anyway, they all need to be sorted out. And obviously we've got all of this stuff up here as well. What's up here that's kind of love art? Am I going to hold on them till February, or am I just going to part it out? Snakes could be popular, couldn't it? Kind of when we come back to year of the whatevers, but yeah, a few decisions to make, kind of in terms of one, space, and two, in terms of parts coming into the store. But like I said, we are so far ahead of the part out, the lot. We are so far ahead of the inventory adding for this month that we're all the way into September's kind of total. So a little bit of breathing space, so to speak, to kind of think about what we want to do next. And obviously this lot to add in, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more orders. So we'll see where we are by the end of the month. It could be tipping the 7,000 or getting up there, eh? Maybe not. Nah, probably not. Anyway, that's it. Get the postage done and wrap up for the night. It is Wednesday morning. I did do some picking last night, but I didn't show you any of it because it was meant to be the night off. But Tuesdays traditionally have been really quiet, but they went off the scale, and there were 10 orders, although it doesn't look that many here because 2 of them were 2 orders. So this being one of those, it was in 2 parts, and another one down there. Anyway, so let's have a little quick run through Technic-y stuff and some plates in there. I can't remember what those little kind of droid heads were for, but a lot of panels in that one. Interesting, all the same. A couple of capes going out there, which is fantastic. A lot of white kind of elements within that one. No idea what it is. Small order, mainly dark red parts in there. Ricky picking up a whole load of Star Wars stuff predominantly, but one D&D figure, and clearing me out of the 16x16 tan plates. This one came in this morning, very small little order of very Star Warsy parts. This could be an old school turbo tank. I think that's what those dishes were for, and the green seats feel like they're probably from the dark green seats, that is from the old school turbo tank. Maybe someone gone back there, given that the new one's on its way. And then this is 2 orders as well, so a little bit of light blue grey, some reddish brown, blacks, dark greys, some olives, and then a whole load of bright green, green, dark green stuff in there. So very tree planty kind of scene, and a selection of Harry Potter minifigures. So I don't know, make your own judgments on all of that, really. Interesting stuff. What else has gone on? Kind of, I did start having a look what was in some of these, and some more has arrived today as well, which that needs all putting away. But first job is to get all of this stuff packed up and ready for the post office. But that's it's a decent little ping of stuff for a Tuesday, which usually is rubbish. And a fair few things gone on the list there as well that we're kind of getting low numbers. So all of that is very positive stuff after kind of a bit of a slow week last week. This week's kind of ticking along at a decent tempo. It's not crazy. There's a big order that was a shipping request on Brick Owl. We'll see if that comes in, and then we'll get all of this stuff in the store so it's out of the way. There's a couple more. I'm guessing they are Savannahs probably to go in the store as well. We've got enough of those going on, haven't we? But everything else is ready to roll, so that's good. Let's get this packed up and then move on to getting some parts in. Okay, my headphones have completely stopped working, so I've had to go to the wireless ones. So if the sound's crap, that's why. Parts all kind of sorted. Ran out of room, to be honest. We're looking at 10,300 and something. So a fair amount. Quite a bit of it is restock. Some of it is replenish. And a chunk of it is new parts, which is decent. I'm not sure what we're sitting at the moment. It must be 660 something. So this could take us into the 670s and beyond. So I'm just going to start putting it away. BSX file's done. So I'm going to get this put away, and then we'll see where we're at once we've done. Okay, sticking with these wireless headphones. So again, apologies if this is awful sound. It is the end of Wednesday. A couple of orders has come in, but nothing major. And I have been putting away 12,948 parts, which is a fair old whack, isn't it? I don't know why they've gone all out of sync, but anyway, yeah. Everything kind of, I don't know, I can't remember how many lots there were that were new. Probably a dozen or so at least. Anyway, it's a big old file with 143 different lots going in. What that has meant is we are now sitting at 678,835, and we are just sitting at 13,994, which is actually just 3 lots higher than we were starting the week at. So it's hard work. It is hard work getting those lots up. But yeah, some parts gone in, which is decent. So that's nice, and a good way to round off Wednesday. I might just have a look at the orders that have come in, both of them on Bricklink as it goes. There's an absolute mess everywhere. There are some overflow parts over here that need to find a new home, and there are drawers that are now kind of half empty, which need to have the little sticky dots put on it, and a whole pile of bags which I've got stickers or writing on them, and my OCD won't let me reuse those. Yes, it's a waste. I haven't opened those two. I will get to that. I haven't done anything with that either, because there's just not enough time in the day to do everything, and I haven't done any parting out either. But we have got a fair old whack of plates going on over there, a lot of brackets. A lot of these we have kind of stocked up on quite a few bits and pieces, which is good from a management point of view, he says. Management point of view makes it sound really grand, doesn't it? What a load of rubbish. Just my hoarding instinct kicking in. Anyway, a right old mess down there that needs tidied up, and all of this needs putting away. So tidying up is next on my job, and then I'll have a look at these 2 little orders, see if they're doable tonight, and I will crack on into the next one. Good morning, welcome to Friday. It is, what time is it? It's 9:45. Slow start to the morning, appointment this morning, been out for coffee with the missus, and didn't do anything yesterday. Had a kind of a day off, as is the way, Tuesdays and Thursdays. which is kind of becoming a nice little rhythm, which is good, kind of balance. 2 orders were picked, maybe. Well, one of them was Thursday, maybe Thursday, can't remember now. Anyway, and it was a torment because I couldn't find dark brown 1x2 plates for ages. Went through all the drawers, knew I had like 300 and something of them, so they had to be in a larger space. Went through drawers several times, couldn't see them, was overtired, got in a bad mood, came in here on Thursday morning, found them in about 2 minutes. Anyway, lesson learnt. Sometimes you just need to pack up, go away, come back. So I picked that one and a purple oxygen tank, and then didn't do anything the rest of the day, which is really nice. So it is busy Friday because we have 12 orders sitting there in what has become quite a good month. We are sitting at 5.2 a day, which is decent. Average sale reckons it's up on last month. I'm not sure about that. 220 lots, 952 items, so not terribly taxing, which is also good. So we're going to get stuck into picking. Haven't done anything over here with stuff. I think I showed you those. That's all overflow. Those need to get put away. That needs to get tidied up. I think I talked about Buzz Lightyear before. Bin bag filling up, lovely. Haven't done any parting out. Maybe today could be a bit of a part out day. Have another coffee on the go. Are up to date on all of that, which is good as well. Yeah, so I'm going to do a time-lapsey thing whilst I do the first batch of picking. Do the small ones first, as always. Need to put that in bags. That's one order, by the way. And then I'm just going to kind of do a day in the life kind of today, because I've got the whole day to kind of potter around. I don't have anything else that I need to be doing today, so a bit of a day in the life. So here we are, start of the day. Coffee in the store. It's fairly tidy as well. We've got drawers labelled up where spaces are. There's a few things that I might consider going back and doing. I want to try and find some more of these containers that I have, these boxes. I can't remember where I got them. I thought I got them from Bunnings, and I have sort of things like that in them, and there are 8 of them under there, but there is a slot for more under there. And there are some drawers that stuff that just never sells, right? Or it very rarely sells. Hang on, they're stiff sometimes. Like those Technic panels and things like that, they're fairly slow sellers, but they do take up quite a few drawers. So they could potentially shift out. Similarly with things like that. What are they doing in there? Things like that. They don't sell very often, so they're taking up kind of valuable prime space. So they could easily move into something like that under their, you know, low frequency pick. So it would be better for them to be out of the way sort of thing, which is what I'm thinking about at the moment. That, and obviously the 2L containers for single source locations moving up here, which might be good. Interestingly, here you can get stacks of 4 in there, so we could take one down from here and you can get 4 on the top. I don't think it would work a row down because these shelves are a bit dodgy sometimes. Oh no, it does. It does work. So you could get 4s there. Not as easy, obviously, to work with, but it would work, which would mean 6. You'd get another 6 in there, which would free up all of that room, which means you would get 4, 8, 12 2-litre tubs up the top there. Yeah, interesting. Well, is it interesting? It's interesting to me. It's probably boring to everybody else. I need to put a bit of stuff on there. This is interesting, isn't it? This is kind of how my day rolls normally, kind of wandering around, chatting to myself, coming up with, this is the fluoro blue tack as they call it, but I don't think you can call it blue tack. Anyway, that's how I'm kind of identifying where there's gaps. So there's one there, there's one there, there's one there. It is quite quickly identifiable, which is pretty good. There's one. Is there any more? You just have a quick scan up and down and you can see it quite quickly. No, that's, oh, there's 2 there. There's one there. There's one there. You do spot them quite quick, which is good. And then in the big drawers, there's one there, there's one there, there's one there, and there's the one over there that we saw, which is, you know, it's decent. Now I can mark up where spaces are, and I've done it on these drawers as well. You can see there's one there, there's one there, space in there, and there's one all the way down there. Yeah, which is good. Okay, so I'm going to don the headgear and get on with the picking. So I'll see you back after this and the chit chat section, although I don't think there's been any questions so far on the vlog, so I might have to ramble on about other stuff. I don't know. Okay, our regular chit chat section whilst you enjoy me picking some orders. What's happened this week in the news? Well, there's been a fair amount of new sets information released as ever. The machine does not stop turning, does it? Notably, the Game Boy, that one actually looks pretty decent, I'll be honest. Maybe that's just a nostalgic thing for me. And the Arkham Asylum thing, which I actually received an email for the kind of VIP pre-order thing this morning for. I haven't checked the price of it, but the minifigures, definitely very, very cool minifigures. Sure to be a big hit, that one. I don't think it was necessarily released this week, but it's been on my mind this week, the Italian Riviera Ideas set, mainly because of those bright light blue oxygen tanks which are going to be in the set. And with that bright light blue spaceman torso and leg assembly being in the kind of the pick a minifigure kind of things in stores, those parts are going to be in high demand. Elsewhere, I didn't realise this, but it came to my attention thanks to New Elementary. The Shelby Cobra set that is out, the big car kind of set, has an entirely new dark blue in it, or earth blue if you're looking on Lego. Yeah, totally different recolour of that blue after quite a while. So that is going to start impacting stores, you know, as that rolls out. Really, it's slightly different colour. I saw a comparison of parts side by side. Even within the Shelby set, there is some old dark blue and there is some new dark blue, and when you see it side by side, it is significantly a different colour. I wonder if we're going to have kind of like a trans dark brown and a trans black 2022 or 3, was it? Kind of situation where there's a significant difference and it becomes a requirement of Bricklink to have that listed as such moving forward. Don't know. I think builders would want to know that it's a different colour, because it is quite significant. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. And then most exciting for me personally is over the last couple of days, the leak of the UCS Death Star minifigures. I believe there's going to be 38 minifigures. Not enough stormtroopers. You know, there's only one pictured. Maybe there's more than one, and there's a hot tub one, which is a good little joke. But seriously, I mean, if you're going to get a Death Star, you want a good number of stormtroopers, in my opinion. But anyway, figures that are going to kind of shake things up are, there is going to be a Colonel Yularen, so I think he was last seen in a polybag, which is worth an awful lot. He's going to be coming out. Hoth Tarkin, also a pretty high value minifigure, he's going to be in there. Orson Krennic is going to be in the set. Don't know whether it's exactly the same or whether it's a new version, but he is a high value minifigure out there. So those stores that have them, don't know, that price could change. Also, Galen Erso, which I'm quite excited about, because that's obviously a bit of a Rogue One nod, and there isn't enough Rogue One sets in the world. And an Imperial Dignitary is kind of an interesting one. I'm not sure where that's coming from, because that really feels like you really see those in the prequel, you know, like the Jar Jar Binks 3 kind of thing. But yeah, they're in there. So if you haven't seen them, jump online. There's plenty of pictures knocking about. Obviously, you're not allowed to put them on things like this, otherwise you get like your wrist slapped. But yeah, good kind of set stuff happening in the week, but not a lot of interesting news really. In terms of the questions, there were very few questions as well. I guess the biggest topic was around this single sign-on integration at Bricklink and what that will do to usernames and store names. So to clarify, and there was a bit of an exchange between Chris Farr, Ride Farr, and myself about what the impacts of that are and stuff like that. And since that, I actually gave ChatGPT all of the terms and conditions and then just fed it out questions to sense check things, which was kind of worrying, but very insightful. So to clarify, if you use the same email address for lego.com account as you do for your Bricklink, your username on Bricklink, so your personal username, will switch to whatever it is on Lego, and they are ridiculous, like Crazy Happy Panda and things like that. So you need to go over there from the link in Bricklink and change it to what you want your username to be. And there's a whole set of rules of what that can and can't be. Primarily, you cannot have something which is a Lego IP or somebody else's IP. You cannot have something geographic in there, and you cannot have anything that gives away personal information like your own name. Those same rules will then be applied to Bricklink store names. So if your name is Sydney Brick Emporium, that is not allowed moving forward. If your name is Gary's Bricks and your name is Gary, that will not be allowed. If your store was called Yanko's Junkyard, and that's a Star Wars reference, or whatever that Star Wars reference is, I may have that wrong, but you will not be allowed that in going by the letter of these rules. How they're going to police that, I don't know. Are they just going to wait for people to dob you in or what? I don't know. Bricksacks asked, would he get grief for having the postcode in his store name? And I asked ChatGPT that very question, and it says yes, because that is geographic information. I also asked it whether or not my own store name would be an issue, and it says potentially, because it's a close reference to the Wizard of Oz, and they are doing Wicked sets. So, don't know, I might have to myself plan a contingency around having to rename the store and everything around it. And if anyone's got any good ideas, feel free to suggest them. But yes, I urge you all to take heed of this. I know Haybricks has changed her store name already because Hayley is her name, and Haybricks would be an issue. So she's gone early and gone all over it, changed her YouTube, changed her Instagram, the whole lot. But yeah, I urge you to pay attention to this before it lands on us in August sometime. Oh, it says the fall, so whatever that is that August, September? Anyway, it is coming. Don't underestimate it. Sound like a right old doom-monger, don't I? Anyway, like, maybe it'll be nothing, maybe it would be something, but better be prepared. Especially if Bricklink is a source of revenue that you rely on, because whether they would suspend stores until you correct it or what, I don't know. And as we learnt from Steve from Superbricks, getting unsuspended can take weeks. I believe you have 30 days to appeal any changes that they make, but 30 days is 30 days, right? Grimesy42 asks, how come you and Noah didn't film more while we were together? It's a shame you guys are so far apart. Imagine if you lived close and combined inventories and became business partners. Imagine it would take things to the next level. Why didn't we film more? Well, I think we're just not kind of professional content makers, so we just ended up chatting and like doing stuff more than we did filming it, and we didn't plan anything specifically to film each other doing stuff. I guess neither of us are particularly love being in front of the camera, although I think Noah's getting pretty good at it, to be fair. we did film a little bit. Noah probably filmed way more than me. He came well prepared with microphones and little sticks to put things on and all of that kind of microphones and things like that. So if you head over to his channel, he has a whole video about the trip that you can enjoy. And yeah, next time we'll do a little bit more, and perhaps when I go and visit Jason in the Kiwi Brick Exchange, maybe he'll make it a bit more of a feature than Noah did. I don't know, we'll see. And if we lived closer and combined our inventories, well, yeah, that would be quite a thing, wouldn't it? And who knows, you never know. And that was it. That was all the questions. Like I said, it wasn't an awful lot of them. If you have questions about the store, about Bricklink, about anything, you know, you just want to be nosy and ask me personal questions. If you want help on relationships or any other things, you want to ask how many steps are on the ladder, how many sets are in the cupboard, what's in the storage unit, you name it, I'm happy to answer it. Just leave a question down below and we'll cover it next week. Let's go back to the vlog. Okay, couple of hours later. It is in fact 11:30, so not quite a couple of hours, but getting there. All picked. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 orders picked, which is great. Was that quicker or slower than usual? Pretty decent, mainly new, so fairly quick. Had a coffee in the middle of it. Do I drink more coffee than I should do? Probably, actually. I'll be honest, I've got a bit of a hangover today because it's just the way it is. But postman has been as well. My original postman is back. Luke, who no doubt does not watch these videos, but he crashed his electric bike, the one that they do the deliveries on, a while back, and mangled up his leg. And he's been out of action. He's kind of been on a different route. I keep seeing him in the post office because he's delivering stuff backwards and forwards. So we say hello, have a chat when I see him. But he's back on this route, so it's good. We had a good little chinwag when he dropped stuff off. Lovely to see him. That sounds weird, doesn't it? Chatting to your postman, but yeah, it's nice. Kind of we've known each other for since the start of this, really. Kind of, he was probably the one that was like, what are you up to? Anyway, lovely to see him, lovely to chat. So what have we got? We got a whole load of dark red and some trans there. Goodness knows what that is. Some red plates and some white panels with studs. Some classic Spaceman stuff going on there. Some of those, once again. Interesting parts. Someone clearing me out of yellow wedge plates. Bit of a Technic kind of feel to that stuff. Whole bunch of 6x6 and 4x4 dark blue grey tiles there. 108 odd number of the panels with the centre divide off to an international order. I'm going to guess it's America. I'm not entirely sure. Dark tan all the way in that one. Excuse me, and a fair few other little bits and pieces in there, so that's nice. This one is a real mixed bag, some blue, some white, some reddish brown, a little bit of red. That could be something 5 or first, could be. And this 2 orders, both for Thomas, and he's actually asked them to be kept separate because they're for 2 different mocks, even though they share some of the same parts. Interesting. This one's definitely Star Wars because it's got an Imperial crate in it, but that one, don't know, it's got kind of Star Warsy control panel in it, but could be anything. So nice. And that is it, all of them, all done. Lovely. Not too many things to add to the wanted list as I went. There was only 10 or 12 things added to that as we went. Got 2 orders come in, so we'll see what's in those and get them in the store later. And I'll have to just cover that up while I move that way so you can't see. Well, that could be, yeah, I know who that one is. Good. Anyway, talk to myself. Right, what's next? Postage. That's what's next. Day in the life, innit? Okay, it is, what time is it now? I should have looked before I started. 12:25. That's all the postage packed and all the labels done on all of them. So that's takes a little bit of time, but it's worth doing. I'll show you what I'm going to do next. I've had a look in these parts. It's really just more that has been kind of coming through. So that's all good. And in terms of my process, what I do is I I put the tracking numbers in Brick Freedom and then mark them all as sent. And then not many stores seem to do this, but I go through PayPal, and where a user has paid with PayPal, I add the tracking details into that as well. The reason I do that is because early on I got kind of my PayPal account shut down. You may remember, if you were here from the beginning or have watched all the videos, if you're one of those, thanks to you. You are a legend for wading through them all and putting up with me for that long. But yeah, there was the Pain Pal era where it was absolutely garbage, where they kind of blocked my account. And one of the things that they recommend you do is add the tracking to the things. So I've always done it, and yes, it takes a little bit of time, but I don't know, I like it when stores, there's a couple of stores do it, very, very few, I have to admit, but I do kind of like being able to do that. And then other thing that I like to do is go through and add the feedback at this point. So I go through all of that. That's that bit, and then I'll have a wander down to the post office itself, which brings to a close that kind of thing, and then we'll get these parts into the store. Okay, all those parts are in, which is good, taking us back up to 679, which is pretty good, has to be said. We started at 668, so we've kind of gone up in the world this week. One small order has come in whilst doing all of that. A Friends figure, rare that, and light blue legs for Spaceman, isn't it? With that Riviera coming with the oxygen tanks, that's going to be a clamour, isn't it? Next up, I'm going to do the store report. I've done all my wanted list stuff as well, so right on top of things at the moment. And then I've even put together some of the vlog. So making the most of a productive day. It is now 20 to 3. So whilst I'm not really done an awful lot, how many parts was that? It was like 1,300 parts or something that went into the store. Tidied that up. I haven't done anything with that, but you get the idea. So let's do the store report.
Store report.
Okay, week 29. Some movers and shakers this week, namely me dropping it out of the top 10 altogether. I did say it was a shocking week last week. Thankfully this week has been much improved, almost 25% better already, and we're only heading into the weekend, so that's very positive. But the usual suspects really. Bricks Warehouse obviously kind of above and beyond all others with all of those platforms and whatnot, but still tracking a little bit below the 3-month average, sitting at 135. Fantechnic, often 2 or 3, it has to be said, tracking above. As I said, they had a sale, so that could still be pushing them on a little bit, which is interesting. Ashburton, 2 solid weeks for them. They've kind of really been pushing hard. I haven't actually looked on the store to see if they are running a sale or anything like that, but that's 2 very strong weeks that they have had back to back. Goldie Bricks Zone even jumping up the way there. They've really leapfrogged, and again a very, very strong week, 59, where their 3-month average is 37, so that's real strong. A bang on average almost by 1 week for Noah, just knocked it down the rankings by the fact that the ones above had such impressive weeks. Gold Coast Papa Bricks again had a above average week. Was it just me that had an absolute shocker? Seems so. With 43 versus their 38. Sydney Brick Emporium 38 against their 32, and you may have seen it in the comments, and Tanya was quick to correct me. Her store is in fact 82.6% used and not new, as I had read it. My error and not BL Metrics. So there you go. It was me. It was me all along. Whilst we're on the point of correcting, there's no T in my name, Tanya. Shannon up the ranks as well, 31 off of his usual 20. I did place an order there, but I can't take all the credit because that's a fantastic result. And Brick Womble floating around again, 29 versus 32, so slightly down. And obviously Brick Womble and Brick Shed are the two stores, along with Pretty Bricks over in Tasmania, who vie for that lot count leadership. And a new entry there at number 10, Brick or Block, bang on their 3-month average of 21. They're 21. They are 99.6% new. They've just introduced letter rates for under $20 orders. They don't list their letter rates, they just say standard letter rates, but they don't actually give you any listings of that. And their under 500 gram parcel rate is $11.50, and they have absolutely no minimum orders or any fees beyond $1 being built into their packaging, which they do state. Very straightforward stuff. By and by, it's been a really, really solid week. The one thing I did want to just jump into is this. I've started pulling some data in terms of average sales and weekly averages for total sales and the weekly averages. So as you can see kind of down the bottom here, the weekly total of sales gives us 709, 566, 826, which kind of is this chart here. So as you can see, it's pretty steady. Week 22 and week 27 were pretty low. A steady decline there over week 23 down to 27, and then 28 and 29 have been kind of decent. And then kind of what that means in terms of the average for those kind of 20 stores or 27, whatever number of stores we've got. What's the average of the averages, if you know what I mean? So whilst in week 21 the average store sale target should have been around 30, what should that be, 35 would be the average. Jeez, that was hard work, wasn't it? As you can see, that kind of gives you an idea that in week 29, if you did 27 sales, that would have you on the average. Personally, only 17 coming out of Bricklink. That said, Brick Owl has been really strong of late for me personally as well. And again, this week, kind of, it's been such strong performance of late, ever since they changed that guest checkout and allowed kind of that to happen. Sales from Rebrickable and things like that have really spiked. So whilst this isn't a true kind of reflection of what's happening, it is an interesting graph to see that kind of whilst some weeks are worse than others, 22 and 27, generally it's above that 675 totals, and generally it's around the what is that second week, 24? Yeah, 24 is kind of the lowest that it's been since week 21 when I've had a good range of data. So something a little bit different to add into the store report. Add something different, doesn't it? Hope you enjoy it. Any questions or anything like that on that, leave them in the comments down below. I will cover it next week.
Store report.
3:30 and part out. Done. Look at that. Wasn't the biggest, so pretty straightforward. That pretty summer bouquet or whatever it is. Always good fun though. Parting out something that's not Star Wars really. Simply because it's colourful and plenty of interesting parts in this. Obviously, part out video coming along. Those of you that are members get it a little bit in advance, and I might do a little bit of BL metrics into this one as well, just to kind of show you how that fitted into my kind of buying decision. But yeah, part out done. 3:30, we're ticking through the day. Oh, it's 4:30 Friday. Let's have a happy ending. No, not that one. I'm here picking up more parcels. But, you know, the question was asked, you know, have you ever been in? No, I haven't. Yeah, who knows what goes on in there, eh? Anyway, there's got a neon sign during the day. Bit of a dodge, isn't it? Anyway, let's go and get some parcels. It is 5:45 back from the massage parlour, and parcels collected, and BSX file done, sorting done, halfway through putting stuff away. This is another 5,000 parts, which is going to take us to about 685,000 parts, which is pretty good. Definitely happy with that. So this is going to be the last thing for today. Going to get this stuff put away. There hasn't been any more orders so far today. So yeah, last act of the day being a Good Friday. Not Good Friday as in Easter type situation, but some more of those have come in, which was good. And there are other things that are kind of popular for gunship builds coming in as well. So, you know, trying to be a little bit tactical on some of this. Some things that can help, you know, when people are doing mocks and things like that. Other things are just good staples to get back in the store. So I already put a whole bunch of tiles and things away and stuff away. But we'll plough through this, and then yeah, we'll be up at 685 heading into the weekend, which is a decent spot to be in. And I'll see you back here maybe tomorrow morning, go through whatever orders, if any, you know, come in overnight, and then we'll wrap it up and get the vlog out. Saturday morning, 4 orders came in the period, which is it's up and down. This week has been kind of like, some days incredible, some days like Tuesday, what was that, like 10 orders or something on Tuesday, and then other days have been really slow and some have been good, so no rhyme or reason. A whole bunch of wedge plates in that one. I think I showed this before, did I? Yeah, I think I did. And then the other two that have come in are 4 axles and 26 tiles. So yeah, mini kind of stuff. I made a start on sorting that stuff out. Probably going to be a work in progress. Just trying to think about the best way to do it. Where parts already exist, I'm just going to put them in. I'm not going to do a count check. Where they don't, obviously it's a new lot that will be getting added. So I'm probably going to work backwards in terms of kind of start with slopes, and then make a BSX file for those that I don't immediately know where they are. Drop them in, merge the comments from the store file, and then those that aren't in the store can add them later type thing, which is pretty straightforward. But there's some interesting parts in there, some good stuff like a silver gun, a few metallic things. Yeah, there's all sorts in there that just need to be sorted out really. So yeah, bit of a longer project, but it'll be good to clear that off the desk. And that's it. Saturday, kind of halfway through already. So I'm going to get these wrapped up. I'm going to take them to the post office before that closes, and then that's us cleared and down, ready for a new week starting tomorrow. Thank you everybody that's watched. If you've got questions or comments or anything like that, leave them in the comments down below. If you are interested in the member content, be sure to sign up. It's very reasonable, but it does give you a little bit of advance on stuff and some content that other people don't get. So thanks again. See you next week.